How do you get over someone? You'll try a million things. But the only real answers are time and/or eternal sunshine of the spotless mind-ing them. Just watched this movie. Such a great film that I took too long to watch. Maybe you watched it already and you just eternal sunshined yourself. I feel like eventually we'll get to a point where we'll collectively all go out for an evening of fun and snacks and having movies removed from our brains so we can be sold more tickets to the same movies. Without the cumbersome and expensive step of having to rewrite and reshoot the movie first. Hollywood would make so much money on that technology. You're always gonna carry that weight. Time will strengthen your back. It's been 2 years. I still think about it every single day. I'm unsure if this makes sense, but now it hurts on the inside. I still dream about her. Still wish I could have done something to save the relationship. In my eyes she was the love of my life and I'm honestly scared that I'll never get over her. I wish I could stop thinking about her for just one day. Just one. Nobody knows about it. I suffer alone. Same. I fucked it up, though. All my fault. It makes the weight that much harder to bear. Hey man, I commented a little further up and it might help, but I'll reiterate here. I was a fuck up too. Toxic and bad. But you can always change. You can't go back and fix what is already broken, but moving forward you can apply what you've learned to new relationships and be better. Take what you learned from your past and better yourself. Be the person you regret not being now and you'll find love. How? How can you change? It seems like the entire core of my being. Everything I knew about myself. It's all been turned bad. Things I didn't even recognize about myself as toxic turned out to be that. It feels like everything I've been doing these past few years has all just been toxic one way or another. I thought I was making progress. It was slow progress, but progress nonetheless. But every day there's more problems added on and I can't deal with it anymore. Don't listen to sad songs or the songs you both like. It will scratch your heart every time. Good thing my ex had shit taste in music. HEYYOOOO. My ex. Granted, I got over him fast because he wasn't a good person to me. Listen to Panic at the Disco and 21 Pilots. There was no music I listened to that reminded me because I don't listen to either of those. Same boat. And for some reason me not liking it means I think she's stupid for liking it. Whatever you wanna think. Play it out in your mind. Have the full unabashed conversation like that person was standing right in front of you. Talk to them. Remember why you aren't together. If it was mutual, then this usually works. If it's one-sided, and your heart is broken, embrace it. Embrace the pain. Remember, if there isn't anything you can do about the situation, the only thing you can change is the way you react to it. Amor Fati. Love your fate. If this person you wish to get over has passed on, and everything in the world is muted gray, dull, and terrible, then in my experience, getting over is not something you should really even attempt. That person, as all people, are never truly gone from this world until they are forgotten. It is your duty to live your life as best you can. Never forgetting them, but also living as they would have wanted you to. Go on adventures, pet dogs, eat strange foods, read books that challenge your beliefs, grow as a person, and maybe one day find love again, knowing full well that they would approve. I'm 40 now, and it seems the older I get, the easier it becomes to walk away from people. I've met the love of my life 3 different times. I've loved women without ever telling them. I've been rejected, cheated on, dumped, ghosted, married and divorced. I've had one-night stands and 12-year relationships. The only thing I can tell you is that the people we chose to love leave pieces of themselves within us. Oftentimes, you don't even realize it until you have the strange desire to go to an IKEA on a Saturday afternoon, and have no idea why until you walk in and feel the nostalgia of walking around with someone, laughing at odd chairs, and wondering why this insignificant thing meant so much. That IKEA comment hits hard. I'm a month out of a breakup and feel like every action I take was influenced by my recently broken relationship. Hard to feel happy doing anything that we used to enjoy together without getting upset. I'm still figuring that out too. But here are what helped me in the process. Sit with your feelings. Acknowledge it. There will be days where you just want to cry and do nothing in bed. Let yourself grieve and cry. As many times as it takes. Try to remove your ex from your social media feed. If you don't want to block them just yet, hide their posts, stories. This includes Spotify if you both have it. Limiting their visibility and your feed would reduce the unnecessary trigger points. If you don't want to delete your chats, archive them. This helped me a lot because I wanted to reconnect back so bad. But I know it won't yield any good outcome. So anytime I want to reconnect back, I made it hard for myself cause I need to go for the extra clicks. Also, if you really want to reconnect and know you shouldn't, type what you want to say to your ex but don't send. Do something else like watch a YouTube video, have a meal, read, then come back to that text. Usually that urge subsides for me and I became more logical after walking away from it. Remove photos that you took together out of your sight. Take down social media posts that you had with your ex. I couldn't bring myself to delete my whole year worth of photos in my phone, so I put them in my hard drive, which I don't usually reach out for unless I want to back up stuff. In a way, move the photos from your phone to some other drive that you don't usually see. When you can, pick up a new activity or pick up what you have dropped before. Could be as simple as researching on topics you were once interested in. Reading. Watching shows that you never watched but said you would. Go to a cafe. This is a hard one. But I realize is required for me to outgrow my ex. To consciously keep letting go. Over and over again. It's gonna hurt cause random times a memory will come up from a simple action like going to the store. Coffee, cooking, etc. This can happen as frequent as your brain wants it. When that feeling comes, go back to point 1. Then tell yourself that you are letting go of that. Let go of the expectations you have had for the future. Let go of that memory. TLDR, sit with your feelings and cry as much as you need to. Remove your ex from any feed that you see, including photos, chats, social media, items too even. Do something new or something that you said you would but never got to do. Consciously letting go in your mind. There's going to be good days and there's going to be bad days. I used to convince myself that I didn't think of him anymore. But the truth was I thought of him every day. Until I didn't. People say you need time. But you also need patience. Just when I thought I was finally getting over him, I started to dream of him. I would wake up in tears because of how angry I was that I was doing so good on moving on. Yet all it took was one 15-second dream to pull me back 20 steps. But in order to move on, you have to let yourself feel every emotion and have patience. This is exactly what is happening to me right now. It is frustrating. I was doing better. Now I dream about her every night since a few nights, and it makes each start of my day a sad one. I improve during the day and then the cycle repeats itself. I want to reach out and talk every morning, but I know it would only make it worse for me. I held myself back from texting until one day I didn't. The conversation quickly made me realize whoever I was dreaming about isn't the same person as them. The person in those dreams was my idea of them. Haven't dreamt about them or felt anything towards since. I also keep a list of things that led to things ending that I keep referring back to. Every time I start feeling something. I love this response. So true. I was having dreams about beautiful possibilities between my ex and I. But then last night I had a more realistic dream about him where we got back together and it was a nightmare, a sign lol. Also, the list is smart because when you miss someone all you focus on are the good memories emo. Tears and time. It takes a while, but you will eventually figure out whether you actually miss them or the idea of them. Okay, so you've figured out that you miss them. Not just the idea of them. What's next? That was my thought too. What happens if you genuinely miss them and not just the idea of them? I know the answer. I just don't like it. Time. Sure. Keep doing the things that make you happy as others suggested, but that doesn't mean completely distracted. You need time to think about it as it's the only thing that'll eventually get you to move forward. It's painful. Sometimes it seems unbearable, but that's what it's going to take. I'm reading these replies with interest. Today would have been our 14-year anniversary if he hadn't ended it last year. I think it's so hard because I'm so close to his family and still see them. I can't cut them out of my life. And yet it means I'll always have reminders of him. I don't want to find someone else. I'm never letting myself be destroyed again. I just want to get over him. I know I'll be okay. I've got a great brother and sister who look out for me. I'm very lucky. The reason I am close to his family was because he worked away a lot and I saw more of them than he did. After 13 years they consider me part of their family. Edit 2. Thank you so much to whoever gave me the award. It's my first ever one, so I've got the warm and fuzzies. It's made my day. Stop trying too hard to get over. When I had my first breakup, I tried too hard to distract myself and everything kept reminding me of her. The point being, if you feel sad, it's okay. If you miss them, it's okay. If you feel jealous seeing them with someone else, it's okay. If I could go back and do one thing differently was self-love. I did not love myself enough and kept thinking about what I could have done better. Now I am old enough to realize that relationship is two people and you can't keep it together just by yourself. It has already been suggested here. Love yourself more. Get healthy, fit, or learn a new hobby. Do something you always wanted to do but were too preoccupied to do before. Look mate, I got divorced 4 months ago and here's what I've learned through lots of thought and pain. You won't. Don't let that discourage you though. The more it hurts, the longer it takes to get over someone, the more you know you cared about that person. I don't know your situation, so I can't be specific. But what helped me was not turning away from that pain. You need to face whatever fear, loss, anger, sorrow, pity, anxiety, or loneliness you feel and question why you feel this way. What about this person do you miss? What did this person bring into your life or relationship that made you happy? And then you have to realize that all those same actions, thoughts, and feelings the other person gave you, you can self-generate that same energy. Just because they are gone, doesn't mean you can't learn from them and become a better and happier person without them in your life. Be happy that it happened. Not sad because it's gone. IDK if I'm rambling or not. I just want to help if I can. Imagine the ocean. In the middle of it, there's a wave. Its only purpose is get to the shore from the vast open sea. It roams and it roams towards the shore. But the shore is far. It takes time to reach it. However, it gets smaller and smaller as it approaches its destination, eventually subsiding into a soft little splash of water caressing the toes of the people on the beach. The feelings that you have towards this person, be it infatuation, attraction, love, gets smaller as the time goes by. Now get on with your life. Read a book, go to work, go to school, or whatever it is you do. And one of these days you're gonna come to the realization, wow, I didn't have a single thought about this person yesterday. I hope this helps. My ex left me 3 weeks ago. 2 days before everything fell apart. He and I had contacted a realtor to look at purchasing a house. And we started actively planning our wedding. It's been a hard 3 weeks. The first week I pretty much laid in bed and didn't move. I cried a lot. The second week I still cried a lot. And it was still rough. But I did more than sleep and cry and drink. This last week I didn't really sleep at all because every night is just constant dreams of him and I couldn't handle the pain. Yesterday I didn't think of him. I realize that now. I slept through the night and woke up fresh with a better outlook today. Obviously talking about him now hurts. But it feels better today. Like maybe there's light on the horizon. I'm so sorry to hear that. But I'm glad you had a day off, so to say. Some days will be better than others because progress isn't linear. We tend to go 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and that is okay. One thing to keep in mind throughout all of this is to feel and express whatever you need to. But don't linger. I also found it helpful to write my emotions down when I was going through a similar thing. Not when I was calm, but especially when I was not. It's been a while for me. So whenever I look at the things I wrote back then, I can't help but cringe or laugh. Obviously it wasn't funny to me then. But it just shows you how your perspective changes over time. Hold tight. You'll be okay.